Hello, people! I am back for my bi-weekly reader, and I'm not quite sure. Well, so I don't know my plan quite yet. I think I'll have a TBR out Friday. I might get that recorded in, but I don't know. School's going to be a little bit more tough for this week. And then after that, I'll get you guys a bunch of reviews that I've been meaning to make, and I really want to get to. So, what am I going to start with? Probably the books that I've read, which is only two of them. So, only two of them. Well, you're going to find out the second book. And I did deviate. Way of Edan, of course, first thing that I read, or not first, is it the first thing? Yeah, first thing I read, because after that, the last, whatchamacallit, help me out here, last bi-weekly reader, there we go. I kept reading The Way of Edan, and it was fantastic. Holy shit. This was just absolutely amazing. The way it talks about stories and how important stories are to us as human beings, how it helps us learn about the past and how we can learn from it for the future, and the magic. I want to talk about the world, actually. It will take some of those same ideas of, like, are there dwarves in this? I don't know. I don't think there are. They're dwarves, but those aren't dwarves. I think we had giants. I love the giants. They were cool. And did we have giants? Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place. But the elves. Like, we get some very boring images of elves, I'm not gonna lie. Tolkien had cool elves, but that was because he was the original, okay? Look, I think these might be my favorite depiction of elves. This might even beat Tolkien's elves. I know that's a lot to beat, but oh my god, those elves were just the idea of elves in this book was fantastic. And I was gonna wait for the next Broken Binding edition to be done, but it seems like it's gonna take a little bit, so I don't think I can wait. I think I might just go ahead and get the next paperback, or I might not. I have an ebook. I bought all 3 ebooks when they went on sale, and that was so worth my money. Or maybe I'll just wait until Prophet of Edan gets its audiobook, because I listened to half of this on audiobook. It was fantastic. And the way this talks about religion, too. Not my favorite depiction of religion. We'll get to that in a minute. But it was absolutely amazing. And the magic, I think I talked about this earlier, but the magic it's like stories. It is fueled by stories, like the origins of creatures or their species. It's just, oh my god. I loved it so much. I loved that magic. And then this cover, of course, and then without the cover, too. Don't get me started on all the... Like, I like cloth stuff, but I'm now realizing that this is a pain in my ass, because I read it without the dust cover in bed, and I didn't realize that stuff was just going to start accumulating on the cover, and it drove me absolutely insane. But it was... Oh my god, I loved this book. I really did. Not a 5-star, but doesn't matter. I love the book. And I have a couple more things to talk about. It's definitely going to be in a review, because I just want to kind of look over the book again real quickly before I get the chance. I loved Dayraven. Dayraven was easily one of my... Was he my favorite character? I don't know. But I did love Dayraven and all the stuff around him. And it felt, I don't want to say generic, it was like that basic-ish premise set in a really unique world, and then we shoot off for an absolutely fantastic ride, and I believe that the second book will be even better, because that's what I've heard. And that's it for what I have to talk about for The Way of Edan, but absolutely an amazing book, with the art inside also being fantastic. I cannot wait to continue. And after The Way of Edan, I read The Wandering Inn. Oh man, The Wandering Inn was... In case you're wondering how long The Wandering Inn is, it's about a 1,000-page book. Yeah, I read that alongside The Way of Edan. Oh my god, it was amazing. Ah, crap, wait, give me a second. I forgot to grab one more book that I need to talk about. Alright, I got the book now. I'll talk about it in a minute, because it actually is important. But The Wandering Inn, wow. So I had my rough points with it. I'm definitely gonna, there's going to be a review out for The Wandering Inn. There's going to be a review out for The Way of Edan, Grand Conspiracy. I know I'm behind on my reviews right now, but I'll get to it. The Wandering Inn was fantastic. Oh, and there's going to be a review out for Discovery. Spoiler free. It's going to be quick and short, but I got to talk about it. Wandering Inn was such an amazing character study, and it was like it's my kind of slice of life. I'll explain that to you in a second. But it had these amazing new races that I loved how it just created these new races. The Antinium, the Gnolls, the whatchamacallit. No, those aren't unique. There were goblins, but I did love how the story progressed. The only thing, I've never been a big fan of this, but I think it is done fairly well here. It's a progression fantasy, so it has the leveling bullshit, and I've never been a big fan of that. Now, I did really enjoy the story for all the characters. Aaron Solstice, the main character, was absolutely fantastic. I think the first 5 to 6 chapters struggled just a bit because it was just Aaron on her own. She had no real interactions with any other characters. And I'm sitting there going, when's stuff going to happen? I don't mind when stuff doesn't happen, per se, but I do mind when there's no character interaction. There is no character interacting with another character. And yes, there were a couple here and there, like she was interacting with goblins, but none of the goblins were talking. So I wasn't getting any character depth from her, or I wasn't seeing a connection between her and another character who could speak, and that was really inhibiting my love of the book for the first 5 chapters. Keep in mind, that was only the first 5 chapters, because right after that, when 2 new characters got introduced, boom, we're off to the races, and the rest of the book was fantastic. I think towards the end, I had a couple problems that I'll talk about in a review. Like, I think that it's just a long fight. Those aren't my thing. And for the most part, though, it was a fantastic ending. And everything in between, it was like a slice of life, but not just slice of life, but a little bit of character drama. It wasn't... I feel like most slice of lives are going to be a little less heavy on character drama, and they're going to focus more on what... Like, they're going to focus just a smidgen more on the... Oh, crap, I just lost it. Character drama is what I like the most. I cannot remember... Jesus Christ, I genuinely lost my entire train of thought. Well, okay. That sucks. Character drama is so important to... Oh, okay, there we go. So I feel like most slice of life tend to lean less on the character drama. Yes, you have a little bit of character drama, but it is more going through the daily motions and just having a little bit of fun. Like, I'm specifically thinking of Frieren. There is light character drama there. There is not a lot of it. It's here and there, but it's not very emphasized. Here, it is like a slice of life, but we are talking about the in-depth relations between these characters, and I just loved it, and how there are still big moments. It was a fantastic story all the way through. I mean, again, first 5 chapters, last few chapters, I struggled with a little bit. Last few chapters were amazing, but they had a downside. first few chapters were just a little slow because while I did enjoy some of the things, it was still the main character just kind of sitting alone in her own head, and that was kind of annoying. And for those are my thoughts on The Wandering Inn. And after The Wandering Inn, or well, actually during The Wandering Inn, I tried to start another book. That is The Failures. I really, really wanted to read this so I could join the book club with John from Talking Story and the whole Discord there, and all the patrons. But I couldn't get past 50 pages. This is not a DNF, this is not a hardcore DNF. I will enjoy this book, I know I will. But at 50 pages in, I just didn't want to read The Failures. It wasn't because of anything other than I'm a mood reader, and I shoved this book in as, I wanted to read this book, but it wasn't in accordance to my mood. Which, that's how it is for me. I added it because I wanted to join the book club. I just can't do that. I don't read on anybody else's schedule. I read on my schedule. That's how it works. And I did want to read the whole thing, but it just wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't. And I'll get back to it one day, probably sometime over the summer. It's not going to be hard to get to. But really when I'm feeling it. And also, I'm in a time where it's I can start a new series, but I'd rather continue series that I already have, rather than go, again, try to start a new series. I know I'm talking about this, even though I just started The Wandering Inn, but I think specifically the reason The Failures didn't really click with me was because I just, right now, I need something either... If it's going to be complex, I have already started. I'm already a little bit familiar. Because, the fantasy sci-fi jargon that is implicit with a new story in a new world. Awesome stuff. I love that sort of stuff, but I just don't have the time to acclimate myself to a new world. And, unless it's going to be simple, it's going to be quick, because that's The Wandering Inn. The Wandering Inn, the prose aren't very fancy. They're just boom, boom, boom. We're getting to the story, we're getting to the stuff. And very easy stuff, because it's essentially an isekai. Character from our world gets transported to a new world, and it's everything's being explained to me, so it's fine. It's not a problem. And I also should say, in The Wandering Inn, it's done really well. I think it's done really well, but I digress. That is what I read, and so, again, The Failures is a soft DNF. It's a pause right now. I'm going to get back to The Failures soon-ish. I want to say maybe start of summer, but I'm not quite sure. And what am I reading right now? So, Peril's Gate is the first thing that I'm reading right now. I am about a third of the way through the first chapter. This is probably going to be something that I focus on next week, because this week I'm just crammed full of so much schoolwork, so it's not a problem. But the Peril's Gate, absolutely a third into the first chapter. I'm already loving it. I've heard so many amazing things about Peril's Gate that it is the best book in the series, or one of the best books. Oh, what was that? Oh, okay, I'll show you what it is. The spine is a little messed up. But Peril's Gate, I'm going to read a little bit more of that. I don't have much to talk about because, again, I just started it. And another thing I need to talk about, I am also reading Wandering Inn Volume 2! So, I am loving that so far. Only 3 chapters in. I just started these two things side by side because, again, Wandering Inn, it's quick, it's short. If I have a little time here or there, I can just bring it up on my phone and just start reading it a little bit. And so I really am enjoying that. Again, not much to talk about, though. Next book that I'm going to read after that, though, after these two, Peril's Gate and, God damn it, what is the book? Help me out here, what's the, Wandering Inn. Well, I'm not going to finish Wandering Inn. Wandering Inn, my plan for Wandering Inn is I'm just going to read it in the background of everything while I go on. It's like an ebook I can read here and there. But after I'm done with Peril's Gate, I hope to read A Fool's Hope, because I need to have that done by April. And March is going to be pretty intense, but for the most part, I think I can get Peril's Gate done in the first week, because I have a break then. Then I can start reading A Fool's Hope, and because this thing just blazes by, I can get it done in 2 or 3 days. I finished, or maybe not 2 days. I take that back. 3 or 4 days, because it took me about 2 days to finish We Are the Dead. We Are the Dead was fantastic. I expect this to be quicker, if not, if not the same length of time, it'll be quicker. That's what I have to talk about for those books. And then I'm going to talk about the special editions that I just got. So, first special edition that I got, oh my god, this is one of my favorite special editions. Blood Over Brighthaven. Holy shit, that's the spine, or that's sprayed edge. Here's the back. I'll read the quote to you in a second, and here's the spine. It's just such a stunning book. Okay, so here's the quote on the back. Maybe it would be 100 generations before the sun rose on a life of dignity for their descendants. But the worthwhile run was not the sprint. I've heard so many amazing things about M.L. Wong, and this was just a gorgeous copy of Blood Over Brighthaven. And we even have amazing interior art right here, and I think Peng Lu did some art on the back. Yeah, right here. I do love Peng Lu's art. But absolutely beautiful book. I hope to get to this book sometime this year. I don't know, though. And after that, I got 11th Cycle, the special edition of that. I loved this book when I read it, and I have been trying to get John to read it. But absolutely amazing book that my god, I love this book. And I know this is a revised edition, so I might reread this year. Probably not. It's probably not going to happen. Maybe next year. We'll see. But I did very much love this book when I read it a year ago. And I love this. Can't wait for the sequel. It is a stunning, stunning book. But even more stunning than 11th Cycle, maybe even more stunning than Blood Over Brighthaven, depending on your taste, is what I got next. Okay. I'm trying to do this one with one hand. Any of you know what this is? This is a year in the making. Words of Radiance. Look at that. Look at that beauty. The ancient oaths have been spoken at last. Oh, wait, I fucked that up. Oh, well. And then the Knights Radiant must stand again. I love these editions. Like, I haven't gotten any leatherbounds from the Dragonsteel, but Words of Radiance is an absolutely amazing book. I need to get the first book, too. Oh, man, I love this edition. Like, let me show you one of my favorite art pieces. It's the one on the right, the hot version of Shallan. Is that supposed to be Shallan? I actually don't know if that's supposed to be Shallan. I just really like the black. Anyways, this was just amazing. I got this on a Monday, and it was a very shitty Monday, just because it was painful. I didn't want to deal with that Monday. Anyways, so that made my day. And I also got a couple trinkets. So I don't know what the fuck this is. Let me try to... Literal Monster. Literal Monster. I don't know what this is. I think this is Veil. Can you see that? And then I got Edge Dancer charms. So I got Edge Dancer even though I'm not an Edge Dancer. I am very much a Stone Ward in my ideals. But I'm going to explain to you why I chose Edge Dancer. This little guy, I wanted this pin, but I can't get this. Can I get this pin? I don't know. But regardless, and then I got, this beautiful, stunning pin. I love the pins, by the way. Like, this is my goal, to collect all the pins. And then Stormlight playing cards. I have a couple friends who love to play cards, so a bunch of card games that I'll definitely check out. And then I got Edge Dancer decals. I might put this on the back of my car. I don't know. Just specifically the Cultivation Spren. I quite like him. And then I got like an Edge Dancer magnet. I really like this thing. I don't know if you can see that. But those are the books that I got. And then I want to talk about a show that I just watched. And then I think that will be it for now. So I just finished rewatching, like as of a couple hours ago, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Holy shit. I watched that show for the first time many years ago, back in 2020, 2019, one of those two. But wow. With this rewatch, like I understand the depth of it. And Full Metal Alchemist, holy shit, was just amazing. And I also think that with the rise of AI, it is even more, it's just even better. It's so good in the way it emphasizes what humans are and how pain creates us, how so many beautiful aspects of being human make us what we are, and that without that, how can you be human? How, oh my god. And just all the antagonists, like the way the antagonists end. There is only one antagonist I am not a big fan of. That's it. I think, I'm trying to think, but there is one antagonist I'm not a big fan of. Everyone else either had a badass ending or just, oh my god, such an amazing show. And like I almost cried twice at the end, and it was just, oh, it just hit me. I didn't expect it to. I really didn't expect it to, but it did. And I think that's all I've got for today. And yeah, I might go record my TBR. No, I'll do that tomorrow. Anyways, tell me what you guys are reading. Tell me what you guys are watching. I know I typically do like a game section, but I haven't played much. I think I finished Subnautica, and I started Subnautica Below Zero, but I haven't touched I haven't touched them a lot. Because again, I don't play games a lot anymore. I mostly read and do other stuff. But that's pretty much what I have to talk about. Tell me what you guys are watching. Tell me what you guys are reading. And I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day. See you all next time.